My name is Jay. Welcome back to LJ's Comic Bureau, and I am your host for today. Tonight, I do not have a co-host. I know I didn't have one last week. I did have a really big special one the week before, but like I said, I do apologize. Hopefully, I can make it through this show. 'Tis the season for weather change and feeling a little bit under the weather at times, catching that first cold or two. So, first thing I'm going to do is say, hey, if you like what you're watching, like what you're seeing, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, because the best thing about doing this show is obviously the interaction I have between you and my viewers out there. So I'd love to be able to hear from you. I'd love to hear what you guys are reading these days. I'd love to be able to have a conversation about, what you guys are collecting, what you think the best storylines are at this time in in comics. So, that being said, today's show, I told you guys, if you watched my prior shows, I still had a box to come back from CGC. This one here is a little upsetting for only one of the comics. The other one, I'm actually quite surprised on how it came back, because I bought it there at the Comic-Con. And, actually, I bought both of these at the Comic-Con, but the one I bought for my wife to make sure she got signed by Chris Claremont. The other one was for me to get signed by Jim Starlin. The thing about that is, the one came back extra phenomenal. The other one came back not so much. And that being said, I can, read you pretty much what problems it had and the reason why it came back the grade it did. So, let's open up my box. Woo. All right. I love that CGC really does boxes products pretty well, showing that they care about the products that you set. That's never been a problem with me. Problem is the grading system at times is a little cronky at best. The comics having the same problem are pretty much having different grades, which is weird. My last box I opened up here for you guys, 3 of my books all came back with the same problem. All came back 3 different grades. I don't know. The first one here is my problem child. Silver Surfer, number 4, issue 44, volume 3. It is part of that amazing Jim Starlin run that he introduced the Infinity Gauntlet to. This being the issue. And, going to say it, this is the beautiful book that I got graded. And that is my problem child, right there. Now, I did read the problem that supposedly had, and what caused most of the issue was a tear on the cover. And I absolutely looked at this book up and down, left and right, before I handed it to Jim Starlin. And I could not find a tear anywhere. I made sure of it before I gave it to him. There was no tear. I wasn't going to pay $44 fucking for a book with a tear in the cover. So, I absolutely looked everywhere for this book. This book actually looks amazing. But unfortunately, there is a tear somewhere in my cover that I do not see. I mean, if you guys, supposedly, it's somewhere on the top. At least that's where it says on the thing. There is a tear on my cover. I don't get it. I do not see my tear here nor there. I do not see it anywhere. I feel like Dr. Seuss looking for this damn thing. But it is my personal book. I wasn't planning to sell it. Wasn't planning to try to make money off of it. And for something, it's not in the 70s. It's which is fine. Am I disappointed? Absolutely, because I did pay $40 for this book itself at one of the stands. So trying to just figure out what this is. I don't know. Whatever. The next book I did buy first night at the Comic-Con, Friday night, for my wife. Because she had a copy, but it really wasn't that good. But she wanted she wanted another issue to have it signed by Chris Claremont. It is Volume 1. Wolverine Limited Series number 2. She got a 9.2. I paid $50 for this book. It's up there, and I think worth as a 9.2. I think close to $90. So it's a good trade-off on that one. At least we did really well. I love his signature. I mean, it does look like chicken shit, chicken shit scratch. But at his age, fuck it, it's fucking Chris Claremont. So, but at 9.2, I paid $50 for this. It really is amazing. There's not too much that they did say about this book, but I will. This is actually pretty fucking awesome. So, knowing that I picked that up, we made out. Unfortunately, that Jim Starlin really does upset me, especially when I'll show you something coming up here. So I did buy one more thing for my wife for her birthday. With the MCU and the mutants coming, and obviously it's been known mutants are coming to the MCU. One of the mutants I would love to see, and I'm hoping I'm getting a head start because I paid literally like $42 for this graded slab. Would be the first appearance of Legion, which would be New Mutants number 26, still sealed in the bag. Pretty good too. But I got this from a seller. He was willing to drop $10 actually from it. I think he actually dropped a little bit more. I think it was up 56. So he brought it down to 42. 42.50 actually, to be exact, because I tried doing 42 and he's like, no, we need 42.50 for it. So got this. I'm hoping Legion does finally make its first appearance in the MCU. They did have an FX show. I'm still trying to watch. I haven't got around to watching the whole thing, but so far the first couple episodes is actually pretty good. So it'd be really cool to actually see one of the most powerful mutants out there finally grace his presence on the big screen. That being said, first appearance of Legion, the son of Professor X. Now I saw this, like, for a family like mine, honestly, buying slabs, buying books, stuff like that. I've said it over and over and over again. I don't have all the money in the world. We don't. We do a lot of rescues, a lot of things for the animals. Hell, my wife just took one of our babies, Groot, to the vet because he was having some issues. We did an emergency same day visit. So, I mean, we have other more important things going on during this time. So, for me to buy something, I actually have to see it as a really great deal, right? And in some way benefit us entirely. And with the market down these days, it's pretty nice to be able to get golden keys or major keys or whatever for a lot cheaper than normally what they run. Hopefully the economy goes back up and the prices and everything start shooting up, and but all things aside, they're our books anyway. They're just meant for our kids to sell and for them to make money off of, because they're not going to keep this shit. We're giving them work when we die. That's what we're doing. But Now, you saw that 8.0. I bought a book off of eBay from a very, very nice seller who did not have to do what he did. He actually got scammed when he bought his book. Now being scammed is a very slight thing for him. It's a slight wording. All right. Now, what he bought was a 9.8 signed Todd McFarlane Spider-Man #1 for a little over $300. I found the ad after he was sitting there talking to me about it, or I should say, after I read his little bio. He bought a 9.8 Spider-Man #1 signed by Todd McFarlane for over $300. But the guy only provided the cover picture. It looks like a 9.8. If you look it up on CGC, it's a 9.8 signed by Todd McFarlane. Nothing special. But the thing about that book is, the guy never showed the back. There was a problem with the back. There is actually 2 tears on this book. Probably made by CGC, or CGC didn't recognize what was going on in the back of the book. Most likely, it was actually made by CGC, so they didn't kind of take away from the 9.8 because it was their doing. But to see this, and to have this book called a 9.8, and then see this, where you can't see a damn thing on this book in any way, it's stifling. It really is. It confuses the mind. So let me show you this. Okay, now when I'm going to do pretty much what everybody else will do with this book, or what this guy did with this book. He sold this to me a lot lower than what he bought it for. $200, probably less than what he bought it for. Like I said, he was only shown the very first cover, the cover part of this book. But in his pictures, he showed the back. He told everybody that bought this book, this is a 9.8, but it really isn't. So I have a problem selling this 9.8. I'm willing to sell it a lot cheaper, and which he did. He knocked it down to like $80, and then brought it down another $10 for me. So I bought this 9.8 for about $70 off of eBay. Let me show you the book. Now, from the cover, this is an amazing book. Now, I was about to have, unfortunately, when Todd went to Florida to do his CGC signing, I had 2 books ready to go. This being one of them, and I think I had another book that he just did a cover for, and I was going to have him sign that. But this is one of the books that I was going to have him sign. So it was nice to be able to find this book, and the guy really did. He said, "You guys are getting my generosity, unfortunately, because I was screwed, and I want to buy a better book." So he was just willing to get rid of this book. As you can tell, that is a beautiful book. Amazing. Here's where the problem comes into play. It's a little hard to see. But right here, there's tears. Right there. And right there. From when they were sitting there putting that book right inside that little sleeve that sits inside here. And they gave this a 9.8. For what I believe is a make-believe rip, probably caused by CGC. I got an 8.0. You tell me that you're not confused from that fucking statement. An actual tear right there. I wish I could show it to you without the lovely glare, but there's a tear right there on the other side. And this beautiful cover that you can't see shit. Either way, I definitely benefited from one of them. So when I actually saw that CGC fucked up, signed something 9.8, I had to get it. Especially since it was Todd McFarlane. I was like, fuck it, I'm getting this book personally for myself. Screw this. It's only $70. I'm going to get this. It's just proof CGC has a problem. really judging what books really should be. And it's just my little joke that I get to show off to everybody. But that is pretty much our show for the evening. We just a bunch of books here. I just either got slabbed or bought slabbed here. I hope you absolutely love that. And again, if you really like what we're doing here at LJ's Comic Burrow, you like what you're seeing, please like, subscribe. Tell me some of the books that you guys have just picked up there out there slabbed, or what you guys are considering to get slabbed. I know not everybody likes slab books because you can't pick up the book, you can't read it anymore. I get it. Some people have real issues with that and real problems with that, and I've read them. There's a lot of hateful people out there that just don't like slab books. Personally, I do. I absolutely love slabs. I like to be able to keep them at the grade that they're at, or at the condition that they're at. This way, later on down the line, like I said, when something happens to my wife or I, kids are able to get rid of them a lot easier, a lot quicker, and be able to bring in whatever money or profit that they possibly can. So that being said, let me leave it on this note. One, if you're going to go get an animal, please do your research. Make sure you go down to the shelters. Lots of little animals out there that are looking for homes. But from my family to your family, love to see you all back next week. Lots of books coming out this Saturday. So I've got 10 books that I'm going to have to read by next Tuesday. So from my family to your family, love to see you again. Talk to you later.